Revived Grain here, back in the amazing paper world for another episode. I've been building me a stables. As you can see, I've been wrangling, is that the word? I feel I just did this empty building that, as you can see below me, houses a creeper farm. It just needed some livening up. Partially inspired by the guys on Hermitcraft, guys and girls of Hermitcraft and their horse-related shenanigans they've been doing. I feel like I needed to get some more horses in my base, and every medieval town really should have a stable, shouldn't it? So here we are. It is a creeper farm below and a stables above. So I hope you appreciated that time lapse. I went for an ethos-style first-person build time lapse. I've not done one of those before, but I think it was hopefully quite good. And what we're going to do today? That's a very good question. And I'll tell you what, we have a base to finish. Certainly, if not finish, but maybe get there, get close to finishing. So, without further ado, let's get building. A lot of building later, we now have a town square that is surrounded by town. Very happy indeed with how this has turned out. So this is the building we built. This is the castle was behind it with the giant mushroom on top of it. This is the building we built in the last episode, I believe. So there's been some added touches. Retro came around and decided that there needed to be more glowberry vines, or whatever they're called here. Now, I also covered up some of the redstone that was poking out from the farms below. Obviously, haven't done a great job inside of that. So we have this one here. We have the building in the time lapse, which is this one right in front of us, which is also standing empty. We have, if I would be easier to fly this very short distance. I'm all right. So we have this building here, which is the docks building, which obviously backs on to the water. We have this building here as well, which is another one. They're all different. I've tried to vary the shape and size, and but whilst retaining the same sort of style. Let me just deal with this interloper. That went right through your head. Done. Okay. You'll remember way back in previous episodes we discovered a neighbour, Night, I think this person was. I haven't seen them on the server for some time, so just as well really, because if they were to log on again they would come up overground just to see that this town is now encroaching quite on their area, quite a lot on their area, so never mind. We have Nutmegan's town square is now surrounded by town, and I could not be happier with how it's turned out. Just as a reminder, the most of the building in this base, the castle and the houses, are done in the style of a Minecrafter called Madness 64. I've just adapted the palette a little bit to to suit my tastes, but in terms of the block placement style, I certainly must say this was the style that inspired me. It's the person that inspired me. So we have a little dock rope here. We still have a sheep farm, which is kind of on the side, and as you can see, it's currently floating. There is a lot. Oh, okay. There is a lot more work to do. I think the most of the big building is done. So it's just a matter of tidying things up. I mean, this iron farm really does not fit in. I think it needs to be moved. I might put it underground somewhere. Plenty of room underneath here. But yeah, so this is the town. The town is looking good. I've still got some more sort of landscaping of floor work to do, some detailing, more globe replacement, and then what I would like to do, obviously also underneath that, I need to sort out the dock area, move the iron farm down. All of this is to be done. I'd also like to build a road, or a large path of some sort to spawn town off in that direction. So what else do I have to show you? Oh yes, we've started to put a bit of life into here. So we've got some villagers, some little market stalls here for trying to fill up all the book trays that I don't have in the main trading hall, the other side of the castle. We've even got a leather worker here, which I think I needed for my stables, which, just so you've got your bearings, is right in the middle over there. Only one of these 4 mansions, as I've been calling them, has interior decoration, and I believe this may be finished now. I've actually hired the very capable services of Lovejoy to come and really turn this shell of a building, I think a very pretty shell of a building, into something a little bit more warm and inviting inside. And he's done a splendid job of this. We've got some flats here with mailboxes. I'm going to shut the door in case I get visited in the night. So yeah, he's very good at the attention to detail. Everything's got individual designs. They're not exactly the same on each flat. Some tables, a bed. Very, very cozy living. Up here we have the rest of the flats. The people who live in these flats, of course, will need to be sheep people, because no matter where you sleep in this building, you can hear the bleating of sheep 24 hours a day, with our farm being pretty much underneath that tree. Flat 3. Oh, hello. We have another flat over here to finish things off, complete with complimentary smoker. Yeah, so cozy flat living for those who would want to do that. So that's the flats. Let's go down and show you some of the other units very quickly. We have the old tailor shop, and this is of course in here because of what is behind it, as I just mentioned. We have our sheep farm, where these sheep have the luxury of space, of course. It doesn't look as cramped. Actually, it does. It's very cramped, but they are happy that they provide me with lots and lots and lots of wool that gets funneled off to my storage room. Back into the building, we shall leave the wool shop. Is that what it's called? Tailor's shop. We have a dockside warehouse here with, appears a resident cat. You've got a little area there for loading up the boats and lifting stuff up from the top floor, it seems. What do? We have a ladder up here, so there is more up here. Not sure what is over there. It's all very, very small. But I'm pretty pleased. I'm not sure whether this is completely finished yet or not, but it's just a lot more inviting. It just feels a lot more complete as a build. But I mean, personally, I don't know about you, but I just do not enjoy interior decoration. I'm no good at it. I think that's probably why I don't enjoy it. But some people are. Thankfully, we've got a few of those on the server. So I might actually ask some other people on the server if they're up for it, for for a healthy price, I will reward them to look at the other buildings in this base as well and give them a bit of character. The last one here is the customs house, which I guess is just some kind of where people come through on their way into this continent, this country. Right. Now, one more thing to show you in the base. We have a storeroom, which you'll remember again. I started in the last episode or two. I can't remember exactly which one. We started to decorate the walls. Well, it's now finished, pretty much. The base as a whole is pretty much finished. I think it just needs to be, so we need to sort this little bit out here where the creepers come and get cooked. We have a ceiling. We have some beams that go across the ceiling. I've changed some of the transport piping up here to be a little bit more industrial, I guess you could say. You remember the tartan pattern. I love this pattern. Big fan of this. The trouble is, it's probably a little bit reflected in the ceiling, and there's a similar pattern. And in terms of the alternate squares, the kind of chessboard pattern, it may be a bit samey. I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep it, but to be honest, it's so much work doing, I might just leave it as it is and just not look up there. Anyway, so yeah, the walls have been done. I went for jungle wood, logs all the way around. I don't think I've ever built anything on this scale with jungle wood before, because it's not a very nice looking texture really, but I just think it suits this room quite well. Can't quite put my finger on why, but I just think it does. So yeah, the storeroom is now complete. The only thing I could probably do to improve things, you can see all that lovely wall coming in. Sugarcane, I've got more sugarcane than I'm ever going to need. So I mean, as these overflow chests will reveal. So also those that may recall from my earlier episode, I had a load of food farms that I built early on in the season, and they worked really well. Apart from the potato farm, there was just something not quite right about the potato farm, and I found out why. So you'll know that I'm a big fan of Logical Geek Boy and his super simple farms. The farm was just built perfectly. There was nothing wrong with the farm whatsoever. The carrot farm was always producing. So was the turnip farm. No, it's beetroot farm, sorry. There's no turnips in Minecraft. But for some reason, the potato farm wasn't. And the reason for that was that this bait villager that the farmers were trying to throw food at was slightly to the right, which meant that he was out of sight for the potato farmer. So he wasn't centered in the square in the middle there. And so the potato farmer, I guess, couldn't see him, so had no reason to throw food at him. That's why it wasn't working. So if anyone has built this farm, make sure, especially like me, where you've got 3 farms running off of it, make sure you have a minecart. Is probably the best way of doing it. You can nudge them, but there's a risk of escape. But if you put them in a minecart, it will center the villager in a block, and all farmers should be quite happy to throw food at him. And as a result, I've got lots of potatoes. So, little tip for those that have these farms in your own worlds. Flying over my base from above. I haven't done a fly past. Certainly haven't recorded a fly past. It's just a shame the chunks take so long to load in. But yeah, I think it gives you an idea that the base is really now, the scale of it is quite something, and it just looks splendid with shaders on as well. So what are we going to do now? Well, other than just looking at my base and flying round and round and round, which I could do for a long time, I think I'm going to leave the base alone for now, because you may remember we started a chunk building competition, and I need to start to build my entry into that competition. So without further ado, let's go for another time lapse. like the countryside, doesn't it? This looks like we're in the middle of nowhere. But it couldn't be further from the truth. This is where the Hyper Tower is located and where the chunk contest with the futuristic theme is located. And we have a number of finished entries, I believe. I'm not sure if everyone has finished yet. This is the last day of the build today, so I'm going to try not to spoil too much from other people's videos. This is the prize stack, which be very handy for the winner. So I need to try and do this without spoiling other people's builds. But what I can show you is the builds that have already been on videos. So Lovejoy's tower here. Oh, brilliant. Right, okay. I will sort that out in a minute. Oops. Must be some dirt around here somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, where was I? So yes, Lovejoy's plot. This is a quick creeper check. This is his futuristic tower that appears to have a planet Earth inside of it. I wonder if we can get a better look from above. So we have sort of a green little foresty bit in the top, so it's very much like an eco tower. We have we can't see because it overhangs. Just missed that. Right, so we have this planet and sort of forest, and it appears to be some kind of aquarium thing. Now I love the concept of this. This is how I think about architecture in the future, about being very sort of eco-conscious and green and futuristic materials. And I think you'll find that these sort of the white concrete look, leave me alone, creepers. These white concrete look, or this may even be snow, will figure quite prominently. This is a dangerous area. So this is, I'm not going to look up because that is Citrus's build, which he has done very recently, so I don't want to spoil it. Sharpie's tower, which I'm a big fan of, is here, and he's already shown this in his videos, so I think I'm okay to have a quick look around. It has sort of a core in the middle, lit up nicely, and really that's where I think even though I do like the originality of this tower, I do like how this is lit up the whole way, so at night it just pops a little bit more out and just stands out. I think Lovejoy could have done a little bit more on the lighting front for that. So what do we have here? That's Retro's tower, but she has not shown that in a video, and nor has Nutmegan, so we'll ignore those over there. We will have a proper judging video, I think, when everyone has shown them in their videos, and we'll have a vote in the next week to decide the winner. So here we go. My tower. He says, being very nervous for creepers. There's always creepers around here. It's very odd, even though I've lit the area. Well, this isn't actually lit up very well. Probably a few more torches down here. So here we go. This is odd construction. There is a story that I've come up with it. I'm calling it the Tower of Hope. So it's mainly black glass, white concrete, and the idea is this is something that rises above the wreckage of civilization in the future, and it has this cube in the top. So let's have a quick read of my little background to this. So the Tower of Hope. The amazing paper world in the future is a bleak place. Paperites have overdeveloped the surface and have retreated underground. Resources have been depleted. It is a hostile place to live. But there is hope A brave pig wandering around the surface noticed a strange humming noise coming up through the ground. The pig was transfixed by the noise and an overwhelming sense of positivity. In a few days, the corner of a block appeared to break through the ground, as if being pushed up from below. The humming increased as more of a cube-like structure appeared to rise upwards from under the surface. Villagers, zombies, cows, goats, skeletons all congregated around the mysterious object, drawn in by its fascinating hum, curious as to its purpose. Over time, the cube, a glass-clad tower, and a strange humming beams of light grew out of the ground to stand proud, overlooking the surrounding area. Green lands began to sprout. The zombies stopped eating villagers' faces. For the first time in many years, there was hope. And that is what this is. It means nothing, of course. It's just my little take on the future. If we were to be on this server for a long, long time, we would run out of land to develop. Certainly in terms of a reachable distance, there would be sort of the wreckage of buildings that people have abandoned. And it would look a bit at ground level like this. This is my attempt at a dystopian ground level. We've got some fire, campfires underneath the trapdoors to try and give that kind of atmosphere, a sort of smoky atmosphere. And we have the block palette as well, is very non-futuristic really, perhaps more sort of dystopian futuristic, I guess. So with the humming of the beacons inside, I just love the noise they make. And we have this kind of room, this viewing gallery, where we can see, we could see the sunrise over there. We can't anymore, of course. So we have, let me get out of here and show you the cube. So this cube here, the idea is that it is floating. As you can see, it starts high above the tower, it floats, and it is held up by these mysterious coloured beams that rise all the way up into the sky. Anyway, it's just a bit of fun. This is my entry into the contest, and yeah, there is some stiff competition, and it's actually quite good to see a non-tower entry over there from Nutmeg, and the same here. If I'm going to be honest, that's not my favourite, but I think that someone's just been using that to check out the views. I think probably at the moment Sharpies is my front runner, but I've still got time to think about it. I think they've all got their own merits, so I need to go and look at the other towers in a bit more detail. The other chunk builds, I should say, because of course they're not all towers. So, we are done with the chunk building for now, and we just need to wait for the time to tick past the deadline, and then we'll see how that goes, and we'll cast our votes. And that's all, folks, from today's episode. It's been a blast, all this building, all these time lapses, and I've had great fun doing it. Hopefully you've had some fun watching this episode as well. So next week, I hope to follow up with another episode fairly quickly. We will have some more news on the chunk building contest. Maybe we might win, you never know, although me winning my own competition probably may not be ideal for future competition integrity, of course. But anyway, that's enough. I am done. I need to sleep. I've done a lot of building recently, and hopefully you've enjoyed the output of my work. See you next time, guys. Bye bye.